This is what it would look like if the moon exploded.
When animals are afraid, that's exactly when you should be very afraid as well. This rabbit reacted in pure fear because of this right here. Something running with half of its body gone. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
I live in a small village in the middle of nowhere with a population of about 500. I am the town outcast as I have no friends and live on the very edge of town. Everyone ignores my existence, but I don't care as I like it this way. Everything changed when I was recorded dragging 2 children out of a burning building. It then shows me running back inside to rescue their cat as they wept on the grass outside. The children and the cat were completely unharmed, and I had a few first-degree burns on my arms and scalp. But their babysitter's body was dragged out of the ruined building 2 days later, and her body was almost unrecognizable as it was badly burned. Ever since that day,
Hey guys, I'm whispering because I was walking and I keep feeling like this guy is following me. Oh my god, right there, you see what I mean? I'm telling you, I really feel like he's following me. Okay, in 1 second, I'm gonna get really loud and I'm gonna make like I'm cool on the phone with my friends and that they're waiting at the top of the block. Okay. Oh Jesus, I just gotta breathe. 1, 2, 3. Hey, hi, okay. You're at the top of the block? Okay, I'm coming. All right, guys. Yeah, oh my god. Yes, you see what I mean? I fucking knew it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hey guys, hey.
3 of Scaretober, the basement demon.
Um grupo de investigadores paranormais tentou ajudar um proprietário da Filadélfia que estava com muito medo de dormir em sua própria casa. Todas as noites, algo fazia barulhos terríveis no porão e parecia que alguém estava lá embaixo. Os investigadores acabaram colocando um gravador no porão. E foi isso que gravaram.
Scaretober, Day 11. This is Norman. Around 18 years ago, Norman was built to appear in a music video for the band Interpol, and for some reason, people seem to adore him. However, Norman then disappeared for 10 years. Then, in 2014, an auction on iCollector.com titled Animatronic Creepy Ghoul Puppet from a Music Video was listed, and sure enough, it was Norman. Norman resurfaced after 10 years, and it was shocking to see what horrible, disturbing shape he was in. Despite having a strong fan following, no one bought him, and he disappeared once again for another 5 years. He was then found and acquired by a YouTuber, and, well, the rest speaks for itself.
The Scariest Things Police Have Seen, Part 50. This story comes from a police officer in Japan. It happened at the Aokigahara Forest. One day while on patrol, a police officer heard a woman cry for help near the edge of the forest. He rushed in to assist, and he found her. She told him she was out enjoying a hike when she got lost and asked for his help to find a way out. The police officer showed her the way. He noticed a unique scarf the woman was wearing and he complimented her on it. She told the officer her mother made it for her by hand when she was a little girl. Once they got to the edge of the forest, they said goodbye. The next day, the officer responded to a report of hikers coming across a body in the forest. He responded and was in shock with what he saw. The badly decomposed body wore that same scarf the woman the previous day had worn. The woman had been dead for weeks.
This is the Dark Mirror, and it's one of the most haunted items in the world. The original owner of this mirror purchased it at a psychic fair, but immediately claimed that there was something very evil about it. So she donated it to a traveling museum for the paranormal. This museum has a whole bunch of different paranormal objects, but the Dark Mirror is by far the most horrifying. The museum actually has to keep the mirror covered and tell people that if they're going to look into it, they have to do so at their own risk. Because the people who are brave enough almost always regret it. The people who have looked into the mirror claim to feel an immediate sense of doom and depression. But for others, it was far more horrifying. Some claim to see their own facial expressions warp and twist. and others would look into it and see their own dead body. The people who hold the mirror claim to feel a strange sense of electricity. And every night, the museum workers cover up the mirror. Every morning, they find it mysteriously uncovered.
The show The Watcher on Netflix is scary, and it's based on a true story. Let's take a deep dive. So if you've seen the show before, it's basically about a family that moves into a house in New Jersey and someone watches them, aka stalks them, harasses the family, all that. This is the house that the story originally came from in real life, 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey. The show follows the fictional Brannick family, pictured here, who are based on the real-life Broaddus family, pictured right here. So basically in 2014, this family, the Broadduses, they purchased the house at 657 Boulevard in Westfield for $1.3 million. And they were getting all their ducks in line and getting ready to move into the house when they received the first letter from a phantom man named The Watcher. Here's some of the text from the original letter. He says, "My grandfather watched the house in the 20s, my father watched it in the 60s, now it's my time." And the family continued to receive these mysterious letters until they became threatening. I'm going to post a part 2 soon, so follow if you want to hear more.
Can I show you a scary video? Slight trigger warning, this video did make me jump. This video comes from a YouTube channel called True Horror POV. This video was uploaded in 2020, and they actually claim it was based on true events. I'm just gonna show you the video, here it is.
Thank you support agency invoice aku satu kat dalam. Kau check ada betul tak? Aku check banyak kali sel. Betul. Saya dah check kau. Thanks support Thank you. Tahu orang malam ni. Tu lah kata. Apa ni aku nak cakap kau Paisal aku lambat. Dia dah cakap aku kau OT. Oh ya. Habis aku tadi tu ni aku dah plan order aku nak hantar lain-lain semua baby-nya aku macam push back. Sorry aku kesian kau balik kerja lapar. Tak apa aku je. Sedap pun. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Kasih review. Bye. Okay, last.
This baby was born pregnant with 2 children. Lisa had been pregnant for over 9 months and was preparing to give birth. Everything was going relatively well, but during the pregnancy, doctors found a mysterious mass in the baby's abdomen. Initially, they thought it was a tumor, but the story took an unexpected turn. When Lisa finally went into the delivery room, she gave birth to a perfectly healthy baby girl. However, the story doesn't end there. Doctors performed surgery when the baby was 3 weeks old. The supposed tumor mass turned out to be 2 other fetuses. The baby was actually born with 2 other babies already inside her belly. This situation is a rare case of fetus in fetu, a unique phenomenon. These 2 fetuses, although unlikely to develop, were inside the baby and connected by a single placental mass. It was not just a tumor, it's a case of parasitic triplets. There was urgency and a rapid intervention was necessary. The doctors immediately reacted and the baby was taken to the operating room, leaving the mother alone, completely distraught. After several hours of waiting, what the doctors were about to announce to Lisa is terrifying. Comment baby for part 2.
There. Finally, after 14 days of evading the FBI, fugitive Danilo Cavalcante has been captured. Today at 8 a.m., a police dog, more than 20 tactical officers, and a helicopter brought a sudden end to this dramatic and dangerous manhunt. Two years ago, Danilo stabbed his ex-girlfriend 38 times in front of her 2 children, who were the ages 7 and 4. He is also wanted for homicide in Brazil. Officers say that the police dog prevented Cavalcante from using the weapon he had with him. Chester County District Attorney Deb Ryan says, "Our nightmare is finally over."
I think we all ask ourselves at some point, what really goes on around me when I'm sleeping? And one lady went to find out, and I think she regretted it. Hey everybody, I know my channel's all about humor and fun and stuff like that, but it's Halloween, so I thought I'd do a few scary videos. I hope you like it. A few years ago, a woman by the name of Jenny was having a little bit of trouble sleeping. So she had decided to download an app on her phone, an app that would track her sleeping patterns, have her built-in recorder if she ever started sleep talking or snoring, something that would explain any type of sleeping problem she may have. Now, Jenny lived alone with her 3-year-old son, so it's important to note that there was no other people that she was living with at this time. Jenny had used the app for 3 months prior to this with no incident or nothing weird happening whatsoever. Now, Jenny made it a habit to review every single thing that was recorded, every single statistic that was documented every single morning, just for her own well-being. One morning, upon reviewing her audio, she found something extremely disturbing. On December 30th, around 2:04 a.m., she recorded some sounds that were coming from inside her room. Now, in the audio, you hear this weird clicking sound and some shuffling. Now, we don't really know where this is coming from, but it is significant. After a couple seconds of this, you hear Jenny say, "What are you doing?" In which a male voice replies back, "Nothing." And then the clicking continues, and then that same voice says, "They're here." There was no man inside of her house at this time. Jenny has no memory of this whatsoever. Here's the audio. What do you think?
What are you doing?
Sometimes true for stranger non-fiction. The case of Richard Trenton Chase is a story which even the most depraved horror writer would struggle to create. Over the course of 4 weeks spanning across 1977 and 1978, Richard Chase took the lives of 6 innocent victims in Sacramento, California. His murders gradually progressed in violence, beginning with drive-by shootings and culminating in acts of cannibalism.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about The Simpsons because I have no idea what to do with this information. Time travel, esoteric knowledge, the Mandela Effect, 2012, CERN, Project Looking Glass. I don't know. So basically the quick rundown is that The Simpsons have made upwards of 30 at this point insanely accurate predictions about the future. And it's almost like every time something huge happens in the world, The Simpsons has already predicted it like 10 years ago. And it sounds like funny and cute, kind of, oh, it's like The Simpsons conspiracy theory. And then it blows up and becomes absolutely world-breaking. So because this is such an all-encompassing theory, I'm just going to stick to what I believe are the most impactful and craziest examples of Simpsons predictions in this video. Okay, example 1 is episode New York versus Homer Simpson. This episode aired in 1997, almost exactly 4 years before 9/11 happened, and Bart can be seen holding up a big wad of cash in front of a magazine that says New York with a weirdly huge $9 label on it, and just behind the $9 you can see the Twin Towers acting as the 11 in 9/11. Whoa. Example 2, moving right along, we have the episode called Bart to the Future. So in the year 2000, the Simpsons writers not only predict that Trump will become president, but they seem to pull an actual frame out of the video of Trump's announcement for his presidential bid. So you can see right here, Trump on the escalator, and I want you to look to the left of your screen at that little vote sign. And just as Trump gets closer to the kid, he drops the little vote sign. Okay, here, 15 years later, on an identical escalator, right after Donald Trump announces that he's going to run for president, he's going down the escalator, exact same camera angle, and you can see on the far left that someone's holding a sign. Okay, there's the sign, and as they get further down the escalator, the girl drops the sign. Sign. No sign. Sign. No sign. Okay, now for what I think is just the most jarring, insane example of this theory. The God particle. So scientists tried for decades to discover what would be called the God particle, or the Higgs-boson particle. And basically the Higgs-boson particle is something that gives other particles mass. To simplify it even more, it's basically the thing that our universe is made out of. It's like a building block of reality. And this particle was discovered in 2012 using the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. The God particle was discovered at CERN in 2012. What does this have to do with The Simpsons? Well, how about I tell you right now? In the 1998 episode Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer can be seen drawing an equation on a chalkboard. This equation accurately describes the nanomass of the Higgs-boson particle 14 years before it would be discovered by scientists. If you want to hear more Simpsons predictions or more about CERN and the significance of 2012 and the Large Hadron Collider, comment part...
This is a true horrifying story, part 76. This story took place in Dubai very recently. There's a group of young Emirati guys that contributed money to rent a villa in a community in Dubai. They pretty much wanted to co-rent a house so they can spend time together on the weekends. So they rented this villa. They were playing games, partying, doing wrong things, bringing girls over, stuff like that. On a normal weekend, one of these guys named Ahmed started talking to a local girl recently. After a couple of tries, he finally convinces her to come over. Before she arrived, he tells his friends not to come upstairs as he would be in one of the bedrooms with this girl. When she arrived, he immediately takes her upstairs and locks the bedroom door. In 30 minutes exactly, all the guys downstairs hear drastic screaming coming from upstairs. They see Ahmed running down the stairs, completely naked with no clothes on, scared for his life. They ask him, "What is going on?" He stutters in fear, saying, "Get out of this house, all of you." They thought he was playing some sort of prank until they see the girl run down the stairs, also with no clothes on. She was screaming with a man's voice, telling Ahmed to come back. It wasn't her normal voice. It sounded raspy and very manly. They all run outside, and one of Ahmed's friends takes his pants off and gives it to Ahmed so he can cover up. They start running and knocking on neighbors' doors in panic because calling the police will not help the situation. Maybe because there was something inside the house they didn't want the police to see. There was an Emirati neighbor nearby that allowed them to stay in his home until they figured out a solution. As they explained the story to this neighbor, Ahmed sneaks outside and sees this girl completely dressed up in her clothes, conscious and not knowing what is going on. He yells at her from a distance, saying, "Stay away from me. Don't come any closer. I want nothing to do with you." She cries in pain, not knowing what she did. She asks him, "Why are you standing far from me?" He told her to leave. She cries and begs him to drop her home because she didn't even know where she was. This was a ashiq jinn that possessed this girl, and this jinn did not allow another man to do the dirty with her. If someone wanted to be a hero while these things were happening, something very bad could have happened and lives could have been taken.